Jasim, Mr. Jasim.
So tell me, sir, Albin is here. If
Albin,
anything,
can we start now?
yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, can we start? Murali Gopal, sir.
I am ready, and if
Almost 22 participants are there.
oh, that's okay. That's fine.
Sir, my introduction. After that, you can share your screen.
Yeah, sure.
So, to all of you, my dear participants and respected Dr. Murali Gopal sir, today's resource person. Our ICR CPCRI, Central Plantation Crop Research Institute, is regularly conducting this Kalpa Green video chat at least once in a month or twice in a month for the last three years, especially due to the onset of pandemic. So we are giving more effort to showcase our developed technologies to the farming community in order to make our presence. And also on this occasion of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, that is 75 years of Indian independence. So we usually conduct this video chat series with the collaboration of this Kerala Startup Mission. So we conduct so far almost 35 video chat series we have conducted. And this financial year, it is the 8th one. And in 2022, this is the first video chat series. So we regularly cover all the aspects of crop improvement, crop production, crop protection, post-harvest value addition, and socio-economic analysis, and other marketing tie-ups and prospects. So in that series, so today we are going to have the lecture, that is a video chat on rural enterprises on organic farming inputs, scope and technology, will be presented by our respected principal scientist in agriculture microbiology division, Dr. Murali Gopal sir. So, sir is the most scientist of our ICR CPCRI. And apart from that, we also have one, we are also organizing one experience sharing talk by Mr. Yunus Ali. That is, he is the owner of Cladis Private Limited. So he has taken our Kalpa soil care technology during 2018. So definitely his experience will also be beneficial to all the participants. So without wasting my time, now I request Dr. Murali Gopal sir to start the session. Sir, Murali Gopal sir, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manikandan, for the nice introduction and for this. I'm very happy that the first Kalpa Green Chat for this year is being on this particular topic of rural enterprises. And I see that already there are many participants. I hope Mr. Yunus Ali can also join and so that we can have a good interaction. So, am I audible to everybody?
Albin, whether
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
sir, I am feeling very feeble voice. Albin, whether SAR's voice is audible?
Is it?
Yes,
Is
sir,
it?
audible,
Yes, our voice is clear.
Clear, huh?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay. Then I will start the screen sharing. One second, please. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
But I'm seeing some app. Yeah,
Visible.
it's visible, isn't it? Okay, okay. But I see a green. I do not know. Can you see the complete slide? Or there is some
Yes,
overlap?
yes, sir. It's on open technologies now.
No, I think there is rural enterprises that is getting, I think this thing has come. One second, I'll just close and start again. Just excuse me, please. So,
Now it's fine.
but one green line is coming. I do not know from
Yeah.
where this green line is coming.
Inside it is coming.
Okay, now let me. This is okay now?
No, sir. No.
Albin, is it okay now?
No, sir. Actually, there is some problem.
Okay, one second, let me.
Sir, you start slide sharing first, then try to share.
Okay, that is what I'm doing.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. One second. You are sharing live. Stop share. Okay, now again I'll start. PowerPoint. Basic. It is in my desktop, but this is not.
First you open in desktop and then share.
See, that's what I did. That I did. Okay.
First you open it.
No, but he's saying share after.
How you share?
Yes. Is it okay now?
Ma,
Albin, is it okay
Sir,
now?
actually, not in the slide share mode. The slides are showing, but sir, the proper way is first you have to open the.
Just a minute.
Okay.
ma,
Now is it okay? Albin?
Yeah. It's okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's okay now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I always have some problem with my presentation. So, very good morning to all of the participants for this talk. As Dr. Manigandan had, as Dr. Manigandan has already mentioned that we regularly conduct this Kalpa Green Chat and try to interact with the entrepreneurs or those who are interested in doing some kind of taking some kind of entrepreneurship related to agriculture. So on this occasion, The topic that has been decided for me is to present on rural enterprises on organic farming inputs, scope and technologies. So there is a lot of discussion now going on organic farming, natural farming. The aim is to reduce the chemical inputs in our agriculture system. So here in CPCRI, Kasargod, we have developed several technologies that can help in as a component of organic farming or natural farming, and as well as integrated nutrient management farming. And they can also become a very good rural enterprise and help the people in many ways. For example, production of organic manure, that also helps in keeping the environment clean, and also several other factors. So I will straight away begin with my lecture points. So today's talk on the rural enterprise will be based on the aspect of soil health management. So how we can improve our soil health and how that can become a rural enterprise for many of us. And what can be the enterprise? They are like recycling technologies of residues, the wastes that is generated from coconut and cocoa and etc. Besides that, I will also discuss about the biofertilizer technology for coconut and cocoa. And all of these become important input for organic as well as the natural farming. And then I will summarize my talk. So, welcome, Mr. Yunus Ali, to this chat show. We will be very eager to listen to your experiences about the technology that you have taken from us. So, as I said, this rural enterprise talk will be on the management of soil health. So I will straight away like to begin with soil. Most of us know that soil is very important for several aspects because it is where the plant nutrient cycling takes place. And soil is also the place where water is stored, and it is also the place where all the wastes, including organic waste like plant waste, animal waste, human beings themselves, and others that go into the soil, and we get decomposed and we produce the nutrients that is needed for the plants. So because of this soil, we have this life on the above the ground. If the soil was not there, there will be no plants, there will be no animals, there will be no human beings. So that's the importance of soil. However, how this happens, all these things happens is because of the microorganisms that is present in the soil. You know, if you take just one spoonful of soil, it has 10 times more microorganisms in that compared to the whole human being, the population of human being on this earth. So you can imagine how in a very small, one spoon of soil, how many lives are there. And these are the lives in the soil that perform this function. And without soil microorganisms, there will be no plant nutrient cycling. There will be no organic matter in the soil, which helps in, like filtration of water. And there will be no degradation of bad elements that is going into the soil, which means if there is no microorganism in the soil, there will be no life on the surface of the earth. So we are all dependent on the microorganisms in the soil for the above ground life. So it is very important that we have to take care of our soil if we want the next generation to get its food, and also industries that depend on the, agriculture. So what has been happening is like, if you see, this is a typical, like agriculture plot. For many years, what we have been doing is intensive agriculture has been done by us, because of which we have been losing the most important matter from the soil, that is the organic matter or the organic carbon. So our soil has become very poor in organic carbon, and this is very, very critical for a good agriculture. So as I told, without soil, we cannot have any life on above the soil. Maybe we can go and live in Mars, or maybe we can go and live in Moon. But in on Earth, if you want to live, the soil is the only main resource other than the sunlight and the plants for our energy. So because of this type of agriculture, a movement of soil, organic matter and loss of carbon from soil has been taking place continuously. Because of that, we have completely lost the leaf. Now our soil is not at all having earthworms. Now our soil is not at all having microorganisms in sufficient quantity. Now our soil is poor in organic matter, that is leading to runoff. The bad effects of flood in many parts of India is just because the soil is unable to stay. All is lost and it goes into the sea because of erosion. That is because there is no organic matter in the soil and they are lost very, very quickly. So it's very important that we have to focus on our soil for improving our agriculture. And here is an opportunity to develop rural enterprises, to bring back soil health and bring back the biodiversity that is present in the soil. And one of the simplest and easiest way is to recycle that waste that is developed from farm. For example, if you have a paddy field, you will be getting huge quantity of straw and other type of waste. So likewise, in coconut, areca nut, and cocoa, which are the main crop of CPCRI, more than 20 to 25 million tons of waste is produced on an average all over India. And if you see overall farm waste produced in India, it is about 350 to 500 million tons. And they are a very valuable source of plant nutrients and organic carbon. And they also are the source of food for the microorganisms that I have showed you in the beginning, that is present in the soil. So if you don't give food to the microorganisms, their population will decrease in the soil, and then the functions of the soil is all lost. So with this small scientific background, we have a potential to develop several rural enterprises that can help in, sustaining our soil health and fertility. So what can we do by this technology is, when we do recycling, we are able to add the carbon that is present in the waste into the soil and bring it back to the, proper health. So let's start with coconut, which is one of the main crop in Kerala and also in other southern states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. So it's a very common crop, and it produces huge amount of waste. For example, if you take the leaf, each year just about 7 to 8 tons of leaf waste is dropped from the coconut palm. From 1 hectare area, about 7 to 8 tons of leaf alone is available. Earlier, we used to use this leaf for so many, home purpose, making roof, using as firewood, and making broomsticks. So many things we are used, but now that kind of usage of the leaves is reduced. And there are so many other ways that is coming out. So in CPCRI, we have developed an enterprise, a technology that can become a rural enterprise. That is to convert this coconut leaf into vermicompost. We also have not only leaves that is produced as waste, coir pith. which is a major waste in coir industries, is now considered as one of the most important resource for agriculture. Particularly in Western countries, they are now growing crops as hydroponic or like aeroponic mode, where they are using coir pith as one of the main component. So we have technology for converting coir pith to compost, and that's a very simple technology. Mr. Yunus Ali, who is participating in this program, is one of the beneficiary of this technology. And we also produce huge amount of husk as waste, which we can convert into something called biochar. In Malayalam, it's called curry. So, but the technology for producing this is different than the common one. This is a very good input for the soil. And we also from tender coconut husk waste, that is becoming a big issue now in many metros, because consumption of tender coconut is increasing. Composting of this coconut husk is also a good rural enterprise that can be taken up for the overall management of soil health. So in other words, when we say coconut is a Kalpa vriksha, because it is able to provide so many things for human being, I would say that it is also a real Kalpa vriksha, because it is able to provide food for the soil. In these terms, if we can do all these technologies, it will provide food for the soil, and then you can really have soil health is maintained, then you'll have a good agriculture, you'll have a good product, and again you'll have enough waste, and that cycle can be continued. So one of the most popular technology that CPCRI has developed is called coconut leaf vermicomposting technology, and we have called it as Kalpa Organic Gold. So we just need we have to collect the coconut leaf waste that is generated from farms and put it inside a tank along with cow dung, and we supply this earthworm to the people. There are many farmers who take our earthworms and they produce this vermicompost in a small pit or in tank in their homes or in their farms. But now people are coming up for making it as a commercial venture, as a rural enterprise, and we see that it has a great scope for producing vermicompost of very high quality that can become an important input for organic farming. So the technology takes about 3 to 4 months time to convert coconut leaf to this high quality vermicompost. So it may seem quite a long time, 3 to 4 months. But if you see, if coconut leaf is dried coconut leaf is just left on the ground, it may take more than 12 months or 18 months to decompose on its own. So the nutrients that is present in the coconut leaf may take so much time to come back to the soil. But with our technology, we are able to do within 3 to 4 months time, and you get a very high quality compost, vermicompost, that can be used for any crop. And we have branded our technology as Kalpa Organic Gold, and there are several partners who are signing MOU for adopting this technology. So it needs 3 things: coconut leaf, the earthworm that we have developed in our own institute of decomposing this waste, and we need cow dung and some tanks, very properly placed tanks. It can be a simple rural enterprise can be generated. And rather than doing it in a single or manner, if a group of people join together and they develop a chain, like collection of the leaves, procuring cow dung, and maintaining the earthworms, then you will have a very successful venture of producing coconut leaf vermicompost. we also can extract liquid fertilizer from this vermicompost using a very simple technology where we fill the vermicompost, coconut leaf, and the earthworm in the tank like this, and we extract the liquid. And this is an excellent liquid fertilizer that can be used for any type of crop, particularly vegetables and flowers, fruits. Another very simple technology that we have is Kalpa soil care. We convert coir pith, that is the waste coming from coir industries, coir pith, or it's also called as cocoa pith, to vermicompost. This again takes about 2 to 3 months time, and we use very simple method so that the farmer or the entrepreneur can easily do. The components that we add is poultry manure, lime, and rock phosphate, and it takes about 60 to 75 days for the coir to convert into a very high quality manure. And the method is easy because you don't have to depend on any agency for any other inputs, because there is already several technologies available for coir pith composting. But for example, you may need some microbial consortium for converting it, or you may need something called coir pith plus. So that's a fungal consortium developed from Coir Research Institute in Alleppey. So you have to depend on that particular product for your composting. But our technology is quite simple. You have to get poultry manure, lime, rock phosphate, which are easily available in the market, and you do it. And also our technology does not use urea in our method. So it's an entirely organic based input technology, and the output is also good for organic farming. This is a very good enterprise. Several people have signed. Mr. Yunus Ali is one of them, and there are challenges which we may be able to discuss and tell, and we would like to see how we can overcome it. So coconut leaf can be converted to vermicompost, coir pith to coir pith compost using simple technology of CPCI. Since last 2-3 years, we are also trying to develop, full husk, either the tender coconut husk or the mature coconut husk to compost. Again, all these require some time. Maybe this takes a little bit more time, 4 to 6 months. But at the end, you have a very beautiful product that can be used for improving soil health. And this is a 2-stage process. Initially, we are doing an aerobic composting, followed by the earthworm composting. So it takes it takes a little bit more time. The reason is all coconut wastes are rich in a plant chemical called lignin, and this lignin is so difficult to degrade, as I had told you earlier. As I told you earlier, it takes more than a year or year and a half to degrade them because of this chemical that is present in it. But we are trying to see that by our methods, maybe maximum 3 months to 4 months or 5 months time, we are able to convert these wastes into a very important, manures. And these are all a good example for, adopting as a rural enterprise. We have cocoa, that is another crop researched in our institute. That also produces several waste. One is cocoa pod husk, and cocoa bean shell, and cocoa leaves. So we have developed technologies for converting them to compost, and all of these technologies are simple. They don't rely on too much technicalities. except that they may take some time, and at the end you have a very nice quality of manures. This is another simple way. If you have good source of cow dung, we can ferment the cow dung and that can be used as a liquid fertilizer for your crop. You can either ferment it, or even you can dry it, and you can market it as a manure. But for that you may need large quantity of cow dung. So this is also a technology that helps in improving the soil health in a very simple manner, because it promotes very high number of microbial population in the fermented cow dung. This is a very last 10 years production of charcoal from biological waste. So it's called as biochar, and this has become a very popular technology, and we have studied, and we know that coconut husk, coconut petiole, coir pith, and areca nut husk, as well as cocoa, they can all be converted into an excellent biochar. And the method is that you use some biochar drums like this, or a better one is being now devised now trained in our institute, and you burn this waste in low oxygen condition. So when you do that under low oxygen condition, the carbon that is present in these waste is retained rather than sending it to the atmosphere. The common method of biochar production, charcoal production, is done in open air, and when that is done, oxygen gets involved, and then all the waste, all the carbon that is present from our waste goes as carbon dioxide. But in this method, the carbon is retained, and that's very important for the soil properties. And the last one that I may like to say is biofertilizer production. So we have a good biofertilizer for coconut seedlings as well as coconut plant, that is called as Kera Pro Bio. That is a Bacillus megaterium bacteria that we had isolated from coconut rhizosphere, and this bacteria we have tested for several years, and we are finding it to give very good results, not only against coconut. It also works with some vegetable crops like tomato, chili, and brinjal. There is one farmer producer organization in Alapi district, and they have taken our technology, and we have trained them for about 1 week how to maintain the culture, how to mass multiply it, and now they are marketing this particular biofertilizer, and they are really doing well, we can say. In the same way, we have a biofertilizer for cocoa, and there is another one fungal based, that is mycorrhiza based biofertilizer for coconut. So for coconut and cocoa, we have very good biofertilizer technology. This requires little bit higher level of expertise and technicality. It may also require a small lab setup if somebody is interested. But this is one of the best rural enterprise that we can have. More technical and more sound. And the important thing here is to maintain the quality of the biofertilizer. So which we will be, if anybody is interested, we'll be teaching them how to maintain it. So from the waste to the biofertilizers, CPCRA has several technologies that can become a rural enterprise. And these technologies are very good for organic farming or natural farming. Not only that, they can also go well along with the conventional farming, where we can apply fertilizer, also chemical fertilizers, and then all these organic inputs in a staggered manner. So if I would like to just add another aspect is soilless cultivation. which is now becoming very popular because in last 2-3 years, the COVID has taught us that we should become self-reliant, and we need to produce something within our reach. So soilless cultivation is very much possible by adopting the technologies that we have. Like, we can produce compost and vermicompost from coconut waste, and they can be used as a soil. So we have done complete raising up of areca nut seedlings, and you can see this is in the soilless cultivation, just using vermicompost and coir pit compost, and this is with soil. So you can see here so much rooting is there in the soilless cultivation, so we get a very healthy seedlings of areca nut. We have done with this because these are the mandate crops for our institute, but our waste, our like the products can be used for any other crop, particularly for raising seedlings of vegetable crops. It's a wonderful substrate. We have also done for cocoa that way, and we see that just entirely using the coconut leaf vermicompost and coir pit compost, we can raise seedlings of areca nut and cocoa. Now we are working on raising seedlings of coconut also. So we don't have to disturb the soil just by the waste recycling that can be, these seedlings can be raised. Overall, the farm waste, when converted to vermicompost or coir pit compost or coconut husk compost, have two important factors in them. One is they are rich in organic carbon, which we, as I told in the beginning, our soil needs. And they are rich in microorganisms, which again our soil needs to become healthy and fertile. So what we can say is not simple rural enterprises, but rural enterprises for improving the soil health and fertility. That way, for food security. So rural enterprises for food security can be our more focused target. However, there are challenges in all our technology. Just for example, if I say, if we have a headache, if you take a allopathy medicine like Saridon or Anacin, it relieves you quickly. And when you take an homeopathy or you Ayurvedic medicine, it may take more time for you to get relieved from the headache or any other ailment. So the difference is the quick action of modern medicine and the slow action of the traditional medicine. But the most important aspect is the traditional medicine do not have side effects on our body, and the modern medicine have side effects. So same way here also, in the manures or the organic compost, vermicompost that we develop from recycling this agro waste, the nutrient content is very low. That means the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium presence is very less. So if you take 1 kg of urea, it will have about 500 grams of nitrogen. And if you take 1 kg of, say, any of our compost, it will not have more than 200 grams of nitrogen. 20 grams of nitrogen. So the nitrogen content is very less compared to the urea. However, as I told, the organic carbon and microbial content is very high, which our soil needs. If we keep on doing organic farming for 3-4 years, then our soil becomes very healthy and it will be able to sustain the productivity. Second thing is, this is needed in large quantity. So again, an example is a medicine, a small, like allopathy medicine, small tablet or small capsule is sufficient. But whereas when you go for a Ayurvedic medicine or for a homeopathy, you take a lot of medicine for long time. And Maintenance of earthworms in case of vermicomposting is an important aspect one has to take care, and also it is labor intensive. So these are the challenges which we feel while doing the rural enterprise of organic input production. However, if you look at it in another way, all these hard work will help our soil, will help the health of the soil to make it produce better crop for the next generation. So without hard work, there will be no development in case of agriculture. And this is why rural enterprises are very important, and they have challenges, but they can be overcome. So if I conclude, the soil health management is a very important aspect for agriculture. And we need to improve the soil carbon and soil microbial content. We need to get the earthworms back in our soil for the food. Without soil, there will be no food. There will be no life on the earth. So we can do this simple technologies that we have developed in our CPCRI that helps to add life to the soil, that add nutrients to the soil. And we think you do this recycling of organic waste, you are able to have a continuous soil health maintained, a better product coming out, and the life above soil can be sustained for many more thousands of years. I think with this, I would like to thank you all very much for your patience, and we will have interaction. And the technology of coir pit composting, which Mr. Yunus Ali has taken from us, he will be able to discuss more on the technology challenges, the marketing aspects and everything. Thank you very much. Dr. Manigandan, my presentation is over.
Yeah.
Further any discussions or anything we can have.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Murali Gopal sir, for your very nice presentation, very lucid way, and very simply you described all our development technologies for the benefit of our stakeholders. So it's, I think, I hope this your description will really add more dimension to the ongoing activities of our stakeholders in enriching that soil diversity and the soil health and nutrients. So definitely our stakeholders might have benefited. And in continuation of your lecture, I would like to invite Mr. Yunus Ali, Mr. Kiladis Private Limited, who has taken very recently our technology, and he is undergoing that activities related to our technology. So, sir, Mr. Yunus Ali, sir, so please, please explain, please share your experience to the participants so that they will also get enlightened about our technology. Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Yunus Ali, sir.
Good morning. Namaskaram, എല്ലാവരോടും. പിന്നെ ഈ ടെക്നോളജി CPCRIയുടെ ടെക്നോളജി ഞാൻ പർച്ചേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അത് പ്രകാരം ഞാൻ മാനുഫാക്ചറിങ് ചെയ്തു കോയർ പിറ്റ് കമ്പോസ്റ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് അതൊരു വാണിജ്യാടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ ചെയ്യാനാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ഞാനൊരു കോയർ മാനുഫാക്ചറാണ്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ ഇത് വളരെ സിമ്പിൾ മെത്തേഡ് ആയിട്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. യൂറിയ ഫ്രീ ആയിട്ട് ഉള്ള ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആണ്. അപ്പം പുറമെ ഇപ്പോൾ നിലവിലുള്ളത് കോയർ പിറ്റ് കമ്പോസ്റ്റ് എല്ലാം യൂറിയ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് 100% ഓർഗാനിക് ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ കരുതുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഒരു വാണിജ്യാടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ ഞാൻ മേക്കിംഗ് ചെയ്തു. മുരളി ഗോപാൽ സാറ് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. സാറിന്റെ ഒരു നിർദ്ദേശപ്രകാരമാണ് നമ്മളത് ഫസ്റ്റ് തന്നെ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. ബെറ്റർ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആണ് എനിക്ക് പറയാനുള്ളത്. മീൻസ് ഇത് മാർക്കറ്റിൽ നല്ല റിക്വയർമെന്റും ഉണ്ടാവുമെന്നാണ് ഞാൻ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നത്. കാരണം എല്ലാവർക്കും ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് കമ്പോസ്റ്റ് യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് ചെടികളും മറ്റുള്ളതൊക്കെ നടാൻ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഒരു സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ വളരെ ഡിമാൻഡഡ് പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് മാറും. 100% ഓർഗാനിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആയതുകൊണ്ട് അത് നല്ലൊരു മാർക്കറ്റ് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അത് ചെയ്യാൻ വളരെ ഈസി ആയിട്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. 90 ഗ്രാം 90 കിലോഗ്രാം ചകിരിച്ചോറും 10 കിലോഗ്രാം നല്ല കോഴിക്കാഷ്ടവും 1/2 kilogram ചുണ്ണാമ്പും 1/2 kilogram റോക്ക് ഫോസ്ഫേറ്റും ഇത് മിക്സ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. വളരെ ഈസി മെത്തേഡാണ്. ഇത് ചെയ്യാനൊക്കെ വളരെ ഈസി ആയിട്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പൊ അത് നന്നായി നമ്മളൊരു 60 to 70 days സാറ് പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, 60 to 70 days അത് നന്നായി മിക്സ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ കമ്പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ ബെറ്റർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് നമുക്കൊരു 70 days കിട്ടും. അതിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ ഒരു 15 ദിവസം കൂടുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമ്മളതൊന്ന് മിക്സിങ് മാറ്റിയിട്ടൊന്ന് ഇളക്കി മിക്സ് ചെയ്ത് അതിലേക്ക് കുറച്ച് പിന്നെ കൗഡങ് കലക്കി അതും കൂടെ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ബെറ്റർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള റിസൾട്ട് കിട്ടാൻ ബെറ്റർ ആയിരിക്കും എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് അതിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ അതും കൂടെ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. നല്ലൊരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്. പിന്നെ മാർക്കറ്റും പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, നമുക്ക് നഴ്സറീസും പിന്നെ ഓൺലൈൻ മാർക്കറ്റിംഗ് ഒക്കെ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു സാഹചര്യമാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഉള്ളത്. 5 kg 2 kg ഒക്കെ പാക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ട് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റും. അതോടൊപ്പം സീഡ്ലിംഗ് ട്രേയിലേക്ക് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി വിത്ത് മുളപ്പിക്കാൻ ഒക്കെ ഉള്ള പല സ്ഥലങ്ങളും സീഡ്ലിംഗ് യൂസേജിനൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് ബെറ്റർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഏറ്റവും ഇതല്ലാതെ വേറൊരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഇല്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഓൾ ഓവർ വേൾഡ് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ശരിക്കും മാർക്കറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന സാഹചര്യമാണ്. അപ്പം better experience ആണ്. I have better experience in this product. Very nice product. And CPCRI technology is very good and very helpful mentality from Murli Gobal sir and other CPCRI officials. Very, very nice experience I have. Okay, thank you.
Sir, Dr. Murligapal, sir, kindly can you briefly explain, because some people may not understand that language. So kindly briefly explain that his speech to the participants in English.
Okay. So first of all, I want to thank Mr. Yunus Ali. He had done lot of research, I would say, before adopting our technology. He had gone to several places. He had gone to Coir Research Institute. He had gone to Pollachi, and he had gone to some other beneficiaries who had taken our technology and seen them how they are doing. And he had taken our technology, and he has established a very good coir extraction plant in Calicut. Near Tamaras area, and I think every day several tons of coir pith is coir fiber is extracted, and coir pith is generated by his company. And he is because he had this idea, then he took our technology to convert the coir pith to manure. So when he had done the beginning, he had faced some challenges because those things which he is doing, which we were not aware. For example, baby fibers are present in the first extract, or the coir pith contains baby fibers. So how to manage that? Whether when the coir pith is having baby fibers, the same amount of poultry manure, lime and rock phosphate is needed, or different value is needed. The moisture content also differs in the coir pith. Based on that, he had faced several challenges, and at the same time, he had also, we had some technology of mixing the material in one manner. Like we completely make the whole coir pith wet, and then add lime, rock phosphate, and all. But he, based on experience, he had developed a very simple method. Like when the coir pith is dry, in that itself you can add the lime, rock phosphate, and poultry manure. The mixing is much better when it is dry. So these are very small but very good developments, innovations from the side of Mr. Yunus Ali. And I believe that because of that method, the mixing of the material takes place very well, and then you will have a final product that is more better quality, more uniform and better quality. So Mr. Yunus Ali has, I think, produced maybe several tons in first round, and he has given to one or two people who are raising the like seedlings of vegetables and even coconut. And what I understand is that they have given a better feedback about the product. Although after taking from him, they have also done some more additions in the coir pit, but overall their response has been good. Now again, he has, he is generating a large consignment of organic matter, and I mean this coir pit compost. And marketing is one thing which I want to tell everybody, is that the easiest way to market your product is to get associated with the Krishi Bhavans in your area. Once you get associated with the Krishi Bhavans, and once the Krishi Bhavan also comes to know that it is a CPCRA technology, and we also insist upon the quality of the, compost and everything. We also, he has done the nutrient analysis of the compost, and all those details will be there on the pack. So what we are doing, how we are doing, and what is the product quality, everything will be there on the packet details, so that everything is transparent. And this helps in, better marketing and better acceptance of the product by the community. Of course, because the final product itself is very good, the experience is good. But as one of the challenge which Mr. Yunus Ali might not have spoken is, while mixing the material, it requires a lot of labor. There we are thinking of any mechanical interventions, and if that so if we have some simple mixer that we can develop, then I think the technology becomes more cost effective, and it will become more better quality. So here we will be looking for some, developments from our side, and we can be able to help our beneficiary in more better way. So in short, Mr. Yunus Ali has taken our technology. He is producing coir pit compost using our technology, and the experiences has been better. But still, we have a lot of, future to establish in the market in a very nice way. That will take some time, but yes, we are on the right path. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Moli, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, some questions in the chat box. Can I read, sir?
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, one is how the nitrogen content of coir pit increased without adding urea.
Okay, very important question. There is 2-3 things happening in when you do composting or vermicomposting. There is a reduction in the biomass. That is, if you put 100 kg of material, at the end you may get maybe 80 or 90 kg of output. So what happens is, there is a concentration of your material, initial material to the final material, there's a concentration. So there is a marginal increase in the nitrogen content, not too much increase. Coir pit has not more than 0.2 or 0.3% nitrogen content. So by our method, if you do properly, you may get around 0.7 to 0.8 and sometime to 1% of nitrogen. We are also adding poultry manure, which is one of the richest source of nitrogen. So all these things put together slightly improve the nitrogen content. It is not a major increase. It's a very, small incremental increase only from the original nitrogen content to the final product. So again, it is because of decrease in the volume, concentration of the volume, addition of poultry manure. We are also adding lime and rock phosphate, which have their little bit nitrogen in them, and that way there is an increase. I hope I have I could answer Dr. Kalaivanan's question.
Next question, Mr. Anis Mohammed. how can you say that your product is absolute organic when you are using P and K? And what is the concern in using urea? Why you are particular say urea free?
Okay, okay, that's a very good question by Mr. Anis Mohammed. See, everything, whether it is organic or inorganic, contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. Our body, our cell, plant, tissue, everything contains nitrogen, phosphorus, potash. But in what form we are adding this nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash is the matter. We are not adding urea. Urea is a synthetic fertilizer. It is produced synthetically, where chemicals are used to produce the nitrogen. So once you are using chemical method, then we cannot brand your product as organic. So that is why in our technology, we are not at all adding urea. So when he is selling, you are adding phosphorus and potash. How can you say organic is the question. So as I told, the source of our phosphorus, the source of our potassium, and the source of our nitrogen is all from organic matter. Organic matter പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു ജൈവ വസ്തുവിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന ഈ നൈട്രോജൻ ഫോസ്ഫറസ് പൊട്ടാഷ്യം ആണ്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ poultry manure. Poultry manure is an like waste of an live material. Rock phosphate is again from soil, and lime chunambu again it is from soil. These are not chemically produced, these are naturally present. So that is why ours is completely organic, and we are using completely organic inputs. We are not adding any chemical nitrogen, chemical phosphorus, or chemical potassium. That is why ours is a organically produced technology. And since we are not adding urea, we are calling it as urea-free technology. There are other methods of coir pit composting, where they add urea plus fungi consortia called coir pit plus. So our technology is without urea. That is why we are telling urea-free this thing. I hope I have answered Mr. Anis Mohammad's question. If he wants, he can interact more with me personally also, and I will try to sort out this thing. But yes,
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Your question is very important because it will help others also to understand why we are urea.
I have some other concern also, some other doubt also. Can I ask?
Yeah, please. Yeah, very welcome.
Yeah. Sir, there is a lot of hues and cries about this organic farming nowadays. You know, especially now from the central government. We recently in the budgets itself, the minister told that we are promoting chemical-free organic farming. So I would like to know from you, by 2050, we know the population how it is going to be. It is set around 1,000 crore. 990 crores or something like that. So how we are going to address this food security by applying the yesteryear's practices of organic farming, when there was like 200 or 300 crores of population in the world. If you look at all the history, in the green revolution, everything.
Yes.
So I want to know why ICR, because we all read about the modern agriculture practices. Now we have a good example from Sri Lankan food problem there. By practicing the first nation of the organic farming, it was totally failure. And they are going to pay. That the rice. What about the rice farmers? They are affected there.
Yes.
So
Mr. Anis, thank you very much for your question. Very valid question. How can you feed 1 billion mouths just by organic farming?
We need more more alternative ways of like vertical farming, modern farming methods, and GAP methods that we are practicing. Now the government, I don't know whether the universities and ICR is going back to our roots. Again you go for the organic thing. What is the productivity of the organic farming that we have to look at?
You are very correct. You are very correct. There are like several challenges of this particular approach. Like if we want to go entirely organic or natural, There is
Yeah.
going to be challenge, and there is
I'm
going
not against any organic, products.
I
and everything,
understand. We are
nobody
also-
can afford to buy the organic products. I'm from Calicut. We
Yes.
have 1 dozen organic shops over here.
Yes, yes.
Even the doctors cannot afford that, because 1 kg tomato will cost you around 80 rupees, 90 rupees. Who
Yes.
can afford it? Because
Yes.
they are saying the productivity is very less.
Yes.
So what is the point in it? We had to practice the modern agriculture,
You are absolutely correct.
GAP, good agriculture practices. That's the only way out.
Yes, I fully agree with you, Mr. Anis, that organic agriculture or natural agriculture to feed our population requires, like lot of, it may take a lot of time. In fact,
Yeah.
you should, I don't know if you are read, if you focused on my last last slide was on challenge. It is a challenge
yes,
when we
yes.
have an organic, because it is low in nutrient, it requires more labor, and it is time intensive and all those things. So I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
Organic farming can be adopted for some crops where
Yeah.
there is a good export potential, where the market is very high. So I think we will start with that. If you want
Yeah.
to say paddy, production of paddy in organic manner or wheat in organic manner, it may take some time to come to an yield level of what an integrated management does. The problem what happened was, if you take any recommendation that is coming out from an agriculture university or agriculture institute, is to have a right mixture of organic input as well
Yes.
as an inorganic input.
Inorganic, yeah, that's the
Yes.
thing.
That integrated nutrient management is you take any package of practice for any crop that is suggested. However, what has happened is, we have seen that if you apply just 1 kg of urea today or tomorrow 2 kg of urea, your yield increases very quickly.
Yeah.
So the farming, I would not blame the farmers, but it's a natural thing. Farming community has,
Yes.
more towards the chemical farming,
Yeah.
and the quantity of chemicals that is going into our soil has been so much now that
Yeah. Yeah.
soil is considered dead.
Yeah. Yeah, your voice is breaking, sir. No?
Unbelievable, sir. I think some technical issues. Sir, Unbelievable, sir. Murali, sir. I think some technical issues. Anish ji, I'm sorry. I think you can contact him. The contact details of Dr. Murali Gopal is given in the chat box.
Okay, sure. Sir, can I have that gentleman who spoke from Calicut,
That contact details of Mr. Udisal is also given, sir, in chat box. Kindly see, sir.
Yeah.
Anish, sir.
Sir, he joined again, sir.
Sorry,
Sir.
sorry, ഞാൻ കേട്ടില്ല എന്താണ്?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
One minute, sir. 1 minute. Sir, usually, sir, your contact details, somebody asked, but it is given in the chat box. So then.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Sir, Murali, sir, please continue.
Yeah, so like the question by Mr. Anis Mohammed is very valid, and to entirely become an organic agriculture, entirely become natural farming and able to feed our population will take time, sir. The Sri Lankan case, as you had mentioned, is an eye-opener. But in India, there are several places where the soil is very rich. It is like, for example, if you see Sikkim, Meghalaya, northeast, the soil itself is very rich. And in such places, there is a possibility that organic agriculture may be helpful for some time. But yes, we have to be careful. We have to be cautious. Good agriculture practice with the right mixture of maybe organic and inorganic at present will be the mainstay. I fully agree. And about your vertical farming and everything, there are several agencies that are taking up vertical farming, but it's one of the most expensive method of farming, and you can only produce certain type of crops. For example, greens, microgreens they call. So only certain type of crops can be produced. 99.9% of our food is still going to come from soil, sir. And that is why we are telling
True,
right,
true, true.
that try to improve the soil health in such a way that we can continue and be able to produce the food for the next generation. And definitely a good agriculture practices with the right mix of maybe organic input as well as inorganic input is necessary for producing enough quantity of food for a country like ours with so high population. So the aim of organic farming will be to begin in a very small way, in a small pockets where the soil is good and it can still be made better and for export oriented crop. And there are many farmers who are like, we hear from many farmers, they are telling that they are able to get very good yield by doing organic farming. So it all needs to be studied well. It may not be applicable to all type of situation. So yes, we have to take a good agriculture practice at present is the right approach. I fully agree with you.
Yes,
We are
sir.
not telling that my talk is not telling you to adopt organic farming in entirety. My talk is telling that we can have rural enterprises where we can have inputs.
Yes. Organic inputs. Yeah.
As a,
Sir, I would add one more thing. In Germany, they have adopted organic farming in dairy sector. What, you know, for what? To reduce the production because it is overproduction there. You know, in Germany.
Yeah, there are so many things. If you see, there is a organic farming research institute in Switzerland, and they say that minimum 9 to 10 years it will take if you convert your farm to an organic farming, 9 to 10 years for the farm to become sustainable. So, so all these different levels of challenges are there. But in our own Kerala, there are many places where people are entirely following organic farming, and they are reporting good yield of even paddy, good yield of several crops. So one has to study how it is performing well in certain places and how it may not perform well in other places, and we have to try to have a balance. So the main aim is, yes, our soil should be in position to produce enough food for the next generation also. And if we miss adding organic material to our soil, then surely we will not be able to produce.
Absolutely, sir. Agree.
Yes. Thank you. It's a very debatable discussion about this organic farming, natural farming, and conventional farming, and there is going to be strong emotions from both sides, those who are following organic farming and those who are following conventional farming. So it will take some time to reach a balance and know that where is the exact balance or equilibrium for us to continue. Thank you, but thank you for raising the question.
Okay. Sir, I think one general question they have asked, how can buy the technology? I have already a science club. What is the possibilities of share with my village level?
I think Dr. Whoever is interested can write to our institute, and Dr. Manigandan is I think the nodal officer for our institute technology management unit, and
Jasim.
Jasim, Mr. Jasim is our point man for like any signing of any technologies. For example, if you want the coconut leaf vermicomposting technology or coir pith composting technology or biofertilizer technology, you are very welcome to write to our institute, to our director, and automatically we will take it up, and you may have to sign an MOU if you are wishing to produce at commercial level. Or if you want to use it for your own this thing, you can anytime come to our institute. We will be able to show you the technology and share with you. So Mr. Jasim is the person you can contact and write to our director also. There is our email is there, director@cpcra@gmail.com, and we will be able to, the procedure will be immediately taken up.
Any more clarification? Participants, any more clarification?
I would like to know if any one of you is doing the marketing of organic manures. In this group, is there anyone who can help? For example, we have Mr. Yunus Ali who is producing. So will it be possible for anybody to help in marketing? If there is anybody, they can write it to write about your willingness to CPCRA. Mr. Jasim may help in networking the producers with the marketing group. I think, yeah.
Yes, I think I have. No, I think no more. If no more clarification, sir, once again, our sincere thanks and gratitude to Dr. Murali Gopal sir and Mr. Yunus Ali for giving a very nice and elaborate and detailed lecture and about technology and sharing their experience. Sir, definitely our participants might have benefited. Definitely, we expect at least 10% of the participants might come for our technology transfer or any other inputs. So once again, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Yunus Ali ji. Thank you for joining and saying good words about us. I know it's a challenge. Any technology is a challenge, and we have to try to meet those, overcome those, and but you have been so steadfast. You have been so like focused on developing, and in a very large scale you want to do it. You want to reach out to other countries also. So your help and your collaboration will help us to really improve everything. So agriculture itself, even if it's in a small way, it will be very helpful. Thank you so much for joining.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, friends. We will meet next video chat. Jasim sir will announce in due course. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manigandan, and thank you, Jasim. Thank you for
Jasim, Albin, kindly conclude here. We close.
I think if there is no
Okay.
question, permission from all, we can conclude this session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.